Hi, I'm Amy and this is A-Star Reads, and welcome to a very exciting vlog. I'm actually really excited about this because we are going to be doing, and I say that because Mom is going to be participating with me in this round of Becca's 48-hour Bookoplathon. So it's been kind of a crazy week. It's actually been a kind of crazy month reading-wise. I had great intentions to read quite a few books this week for the Spring Into Reading-a-thon, and I ended up working back out in the field, which it's been a while since I did any field work, and I was out there a lot. And it was exhausting. My COVID body wasn't prepared for that much physical labor. I'm still exhausted, but luckily it's Friday, so that's the good news. I did read one book for the Spring Into Reading-a-thon, and that was Einstein's Cosmos, which was also my Buzzwordathon book. And I read it for the book that has been on your shelf for the longest, because I think I figured out in the back of this, it says 2013, and I'm pretty sure I bought this around then. So it's been on my shelf for a very long time. And I will be talking about this book quite a bit in my March nonfiction review, so stay tuned for that. I really enjoyed this book. Spoiler alert, I gave it 5 stars. I just want to get you a little caught up because I haven't been doing much this month. Reading hasn't been going very well, and vlogging hasn't been going very well. I haven't been getting very many videos up. Things have just been kind of busy, which is good. That's not a bad thing, but it means that my reading's been a little behind. And then I think I was kind of going through a bit of a slump, a minor slump. This nonfiction book is actually what got me out of that slump, oddly enough. Okay, but back to Bookoplathon. So this is a 48-hour readathon, and if you don't know anything about it, I'm gonna link all the information for Becca and her announcement video down in the description box below. And what's gonna happen is for the next 48 hours, for us here in Washington, it'll start at 5 p.m. today, which is Friday. It'll go through Sunday at 5 p.m. And every 12 hours, she's going to roll the dice and move forward on 2 Monopoly boards. So you actually have the chance to read up to 8 books. So the first roll drop she actually did in advance was either a book with a dark cover or a fantasy. And I actually combined those because I started Children of Virtue and Vengeance this week for the Spring Into Reading-a-thon, and I'm gonna be finishing that. It's a young adult fantasy, and it also has a dark cover, so that's perfect.
48 hours, let's not sleep.
I wanna sleep.
Wait a minute. How are you gonna read 8 books if you sleep?
I'm not gonna read 8 books. How are you gonna read 8 books?
I don't think I'm gonna do 8 books.
You're better at not sleeping than I am.
True, I'm old. I don't need to sleep. I'm gonna have the big sleep in a few years.
Oh, mother. That's not even... Okay, what are you reading for your fantasy with a dark cover?
I'm so excited. I'm gonna read The Gilded Ones. Very dark cover. It is a fantasy. Amy just got it. We fought over who gets to read it, and I get to. I'm the winner.
We did not fight. Okay, well, at least we didn't fist fight.
I would never hit my daughter.
In 12 hours, and it'll be 5 a.m. our time, they'll drop the next prompts. So then we'll have to switch up books. Hopefully we'll have our books finished, and then we can switch up to the new prompts. Depending on how long the book is, we could either pick 2 new books or combine the prompts for 1 book, or just use whatever prompt we want to use of the 2. And most likely the 2 of us are probably just gonna read 4 books. We are not, I mean, Mom's a very fast reader, so I guess it just depends on what she ends up picking up. I'm not a very fast reader. And my first book, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, I'm listening to on audiobook, so I'll be listening to that tonight until I finish it. I think I have about 7.5 hours left of that, so hopefully I can get that finished before the next roll drop tomorrow morning. And during that time, I have my Disney pin boards that I want to arrange because I got a lot for Christmas. I need to get them a bit organized. And then also, I have been wanting to make more face masks. It's been a long time. I made like over 200 face masks and I haven't made any recently, and people have been asking for them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make some face masks. And I just haven't done it. So I'm gonna take the time while I'm listening to my audiobooks to sit down and actually make face masks. So that should be great because that's a nice thing to do and I feel like I've accomplished something. How have I prepared? Not too much. I will probably be cooking. I have some meals that I can make, and I got some snacks though. I got some Nutter Butters, and we haven't had Idaho Spuds in a while. We do like these. So I didn't pick up anything healthy because I stopped off at the gas station on my way home, but we have water we can drink.
What have you done to prepare for this?
That's how you prepared for this.
I'm working up to it.
Stocked up on the coffee. Need to still get creamer before tonight.
Yes, we do need a creamer.
Got my blankie ready. Oh, but I'm not going to sleep. Got some sugar.
Oh yeah, I did say.
Sugar diabetes.
I already showed him our good, our healthy snacks.
Oh, healthy? It's a 48-hour readathon.
It's a potato.
Oh yeah.
That's like a vegetable, right?
And peanut butter.
Yeah, that's protein. Protein.
And that's going to be it for the next 48 hours. We're going to be reading a lot of reading. So I will check in with you here and there throughout it. I'll update you on the books we're reading and give you any little snippets here and there that show you anything other than how boring we are when we read. I've got sweats on, my sweatpants, my cozy top. It's currently 3:30, so not time to start yet, but we're ready to do this thing. So those books better watch out because they're not going to see what hit them.
You ready, Cece? Are you ready? Yeah, no, you got to be reading for the next 48 hours, Cece. Stay awake.
Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes until Bookoplathon starts, and I'm already getting sleepy, which is terrible. I'm just getting to the end of my rope. So I'm gonna make some coffee now, and hopefully that does a little bit of help because I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. I need to listen to my book. Okay, so it is now 7 o'clock, and we're going to do a bit of an update.
Okay, so we've been reading for 2 hours. I'm on page 97. I'm liking
Of
the
what?
book, The Gilded Ones. I'm liking the book. When girls reach 16, their blood is tested, and if it's red, they're pure, and if it's gold, they're unpure. They're considered a demon, and they're killed.
Killed? I thought they...
Well, that's how they started.
Okay.
Things move on. I'm not going to give it all away.
But that's what it says in the back of the book.
Don't know what to tell you. They try to kill most of them.
How is the rest of your bookathon going?
Well, I'm relaxing. Oh, wait, no. I started reading and the first thing I wanted to do was sleep.
Yeah.
Amy was telling me earlier that she was tired before it even started. And I go, oh, I'm fine. As soon as I start reading, I get so tired when I start reading.
She needs to drink coffee because I drank coffee and
I'll make
it
some
actually
coffee
helped.
for the next couple of hours.
It totally helped. I have like 5 hours and 50 minutes left of Children of Virtue and Vengeance. It's about this one young diviner named Zayli who works with the princess of the kingdom of Orisha to try and bring magic back. Bring the magi back, because diviners eventually become magi, but their magic has been taken away from them by the kingdom, the Orishans. So this is the second book in that series, and I'm enjoying it so far. This is one of those books where people were like, it's not very good. They loved the first book, they didn't like the second one. And this is pretty hardcore YA in the sense that there's a lot of emotions. It's pretty dramatic. And sometimes that's kind of the problem with YA, is that it can be a little too dramatic, but I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. And so I have a little bit less than 6 hours, and I'm hoping that I'll stay awake long enough to finish it.
I know.
Yeah.
We were all excited, 12-hour shifts. We could read 12 hours and 12 hours and 12 hours. It's like, oh my God, within the first 15 minutes, I was ready to sleep. This is going to be a long haul.
Yeah, you need to get your coffee. Yeah. So that's our update for now, and I finished my pin board, so now I'm moving on to sewing. And
I'm reading mine physically. I guess I can't do anything but read.
I didn't get as far as I wanted to on listening because we took a break because Mom was falling asleep. So I did 10 minutes of dancing. We did 10 minutes dancing. Did that wake you up?
Yeah, I'm awake still.
And she got some coffee. 4 hours and 45 minutes of my book left. And I'm sewing right now. And that's going really well. Hey!
Oh, God! Bastard cat.
And the cat just started eating Mom's ice cream.
Ooh.
How far are you?
I'm at page 200. I'm discovering that I can read about 50 pages an hour. We've been recording every 2 hours, so I've read 100 pages every 2 hours. My book is a little over 400, so 4 more hours I'll have it completed. What Amy had said was that the people with gold blood, the women with the gold blood, get turned into soldiers. At least that's what it says, and that's true. She's now at a training camp, and she's learning how to be a soldier.
Okay.
That's not spoilery because that's in the, what is that called, that section?
It's synopsis.
Synopsis.
So are you enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, I can't put it down. Like I said, I'm at page 200 and I am awake now. I'm red-faced because we danced so hard, but I'm ready to read another 4 hours and then that'll be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Oof. Then I think I do want to sleep, but I want to finish this book. It's really good.
There's dinner. Ended up being beef burgers instead of turkey burgers. And there's someone who's creeping. What do you think you're doing? No, get lost, bucko. Get lost. Now I'm sitting here folding this up so they have the little accordion. And then this will be a pocket here so that you can put filter in there if you want. So yeah, just making some progress on these face masks. Tell us your good news.
It's 12:30 and I finished my book. Yahoo! It was really good. I mean, there were hints of where it was going, but I was pretty surprised by the switch that I really didn't know the ending, and so it was kind of exciting when all of a sudden, boom! It was hard to put down. It was really fast to read at the end, so pretty good book. I recommend it. Amy said that she looked it up and it looks like it's going to be a trilogy. It has a great ending, but it also kind of gives you a hint of, it's good. There's going to be another book. So I'm pretty excited. I'm not tired yet because I had a cup of coffee, but I'm hoping to get some sleep and then we have to get up at 5 to find out the next prompt.
I know, we're insane. It's fun though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, so it's 2 a.m. and I've just now finished Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and I loved it. I don't know if I'm going to give it 5 stars just because at the end I felt it went a little long, and I'm not sure if that's because I'm just so tired or if it went a little longer than maybe it needed to. I really enjoyed this book, and I understand that people are upset because it maybe didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen, or the characters were disappointing. And I kind of felt like the characters behaved the way they needed to behave. And I felt like the way things went was kind of the way it needed to go. I don't know. I thought I really liked it. I really liked where everything went. I mean, it was very dramatic. So dramatic. Maybe too dramatic. It was ridiculous. Not all the characters are necessarily the greatest of people. But we can kind of see that from the beginning. There's a lot of grayness in their personalities and their characters. And they may do really disappointing things. And a lot of times it was really immature. Like, this is definitely a young adult book. So, like, there's no questioning that. We're wondering why people that are this immature are running the show, But, I mean, I'm sure throughout history there have been people in leading positions that were way too young for what they were in charge of. There's plenty of people who were older and way too mentally young for what they were in charge of. But I don't know. I really liked it. I liked the progress. I liked where the characters went. And I'm excited to read the next one when that comes out. It is 2. So I'm going to go to sleep and sleep for a few hours until the next roll drop. And then either start that book if I have any energy, or go back to sleep and then wake up to actually continue reading. So, yeah, that's it for tonight. Are you ready for that roll drop, little girl?
I can't open my eyes.
All right, so we're awake for the roll drop. I know this seems ridiculous because we could always just find out what it is later, but it's more fun this way.
Roll
7 also.
And that is a contemporary.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick the book that Mom got me for Christmas, actually, which is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. And I think this will be fast because it's YA, big writing. And it is definitely a YA contemporary fiction. And the main character is Cuban, so person of color.
Okay, so my book is called Long Time Coming. It's a romance, contemporary apparently, and it's written by a Black woman, and it features Black women. There's actually 3 books, 3 women.
Have you read the other ones?
I read one other one.
All right. Yeah, that was a contemporary romance. I looked it up on Goodreads.
And it's only 296 pages.
I think mine's longer, actually.
Mine's 308 pages.
Well, that's
And you're the faster reader. 300.
Why, we trading?
308 pages is not bad. No.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, this is the one you gave me for Christmas, so.
I know.
Look at what?
My hair.
Yeah, it looks good. Still, those are the Christmas ornaments we haven't got down yet.
We are showing them. Don't show them.
Don't look up there, guys. There. We need to go to sleep.
All right, Cece started the morning with a bath. Now she's trying to get all her hair off on our carpet. Every single last bit. She loves baths, let me tell you. You crazy dog. Okay, so we've eaten breakfast. We've done everything we need to do to get the day started. And I just wanted to show you guys this really fast. Look at this cool bookmark that I'm using. We're excited, drinking coffee. Hopefully that'll wake us up, and getting ready to start our next books.
So Cece and I had a shower this morning. We're both clean. Got my book ready. Amy's ready. We're going to hit the books hard.
Look at how hard she's reading.
I'm tired already.
This is about a young girl named Lila who goes through the trauma of 3 things that happen in her life. Her grandmother dies, her boyfriend breaks up with her, and her best friend goes off to school somewhere else instead of the plan that they originally had. And she is having to recover. She actually does something fairly foolish because of how sad she is about all this happening. And she scares her family. They force her to go stay with her aunt in Winchester, England, because she needs to kind of get herself back together. Her and her sister are supposed to be running the family bakery, which her grandma ran until she passed away. That's the intention, but she gets sent away because she's not healing or dealing with her problems. Really angry that she got sent away because she thinks that there's no way that England is going to help her work through her problems. She just needs time. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's, YA, contemporary, it's cute, and it feels very much like a typical YA contemporary. That's Mom's lunch.
Cece, what is this?
All right, it is 2:00 and we're ready for our we've been kind of doing this update every 2 hours. I am at page 116 and it's official, I'm a slow reader, but that's okay. I've got 4 hours left to read more than 116 pages, so I don't think I'm going to finish this in time, but I'm making a dent and I'm enjoying myself. It's really cute. And I think I'm starting to get into it a little more. It was taking me a little bit of time to kind of get into the writing style. It's not like it's different. It's just I was listening to fantasy, so it's different to switch over to contemporary. And I get distracted easily. Surprise, surprise. But it's been good. It's been really good reading this morning. And I'm wide awake. How about you, Mom?
I'm awake because I did take a nap. How long did I sleep?
Gosh, you slept for at least 30 or 40 minutes.
As soon as I opened up a book, man, my eyes are done.
She's a really good readathon-er.
Yeah, badly. So I'm, 171 pages. My book is a little less than 300 pages, so I'm over halfway. I'm going to get it done. I'm a fast reader. Sorry. It's an occupational hazard. Amy said I better tell a little bit about the book. Of course, it's a standard classic romance. Boy meets girl, they run into some issues, and then boy and girl get together at the end, I think. I haven't got to the end of this yet. I'm only halfway through. Actually, we haven't got to the issues yet.
But what's the story about?
She's a wedding planner.
Oh, see, there's some information.
She meets the guy, the woman that's getting married can't come into the wedding planner, so he sends her brother instead. Who sends their brother to your wedding planner?
You have to really trust your brother.
Yeah, well, I guess they're close. You learn a little bit about the brother. The brother's an attorney, used to be a policeman for 20 years. Instant attraction. He was adopted. His mother left him went to a clinic, said I love you, and left, and so he's injured. He can't say I love you because when I say I love you, you'll be abandoned. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. Because
will he be abandoned again? I don't know.
Will he be able to say I love you? Because what if the girl wants to hear that? Typical.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to end well because I read one other book by this author, and boy meets girl, had problems, got together in the end.
the perfect recipe for a good romance. Speaking of recipes, this is making me want to eat Cuban food so badly because this girl's a baker, and then she's talking about flan and all these good foods, and then talking about the pasta carbonara. Like, this is a food book. I know.
Stop it.
This is a food book.
When we lived in Austin, there was a Cuban restaurant that we went to. I'd never had Cuban food before, and it was the best I've ever had. We've never had the same quality of Cuban food as that restaurant in Austin.
Good.
It wasn't even open all the time, but man, when it was open, we were there.
Yeah, and they closed down. It was really sad. But we moved away, so I guess touche.
It's our fault. If we hadn't moved away, that Cuban restaurant would still be open.
Right.
And it was just a hole in the wall, but it was fabulous.
Yeah, it was so good.
Darn it, you make me hungry.
Best Cuban sandwiches I've ever had. And then they're
What were those round? Plantains?
Tostanos? Nope. I don't remember.
Whatever. It was
The smashed plantains, the savory ones were so, because they had this garlic sauce that went with them. So, okay, yeah.
We hope everybody's hungry now.
I ate my leftover burger, and I guess that wasn't enough. I'm like, oh, food. And then, of course, this is all about Winchester, England, or at least this takes place in Winchester, England. And I love England, so it's making me feel like very nostalgic feelings for the times we visited, and the friends, and the food, and the people, and the beautiful architecture. So I'm really, really enjoying the vibes I'm getting from this book. I miss traveling. Yeah, I miss England. I miss every place.
Yeah.
We're tired
We
of
can't
this
even go
place.
to Canada. We can't even
No,
cross
I
the
know,
border, and we're so
I know.
close to the border.
It's
It's
just
just
right over there.
maddening.
It's just right over there. We can see it. We can
Hi,
see
Canada.
it, but can't go over. Okay, well, that's our update for now. I need to get back to it if I'm going to get through this book.
Read fast, read fast.
Maybe the next prompt will be a really short book so that I can get back to this after that. We'll see. So we killed that candle, Daffodils and Sunshine, and we're going on to Love Every Bunny. This one is sweet carrot cake, and it smells like sweet carrot cake. And you can smell the cream cheese frosting. So the boy in this book has a tea shop that he runs. And I just wanted to show you our cute little teacup from London. We got this at Cost Plus World Markets. We didn't actually get it from England, but it's super cute. And then it has this little, and we're gonna have some tea. So the neatest. So I'm not a huge purchaser of books. I do buy them sometimes, especially when I can't get my hands on them. But one thing I am a total sucker for are subscription boxes. I love mystery boxes. I like to watch mystery unboxings. I have a specific person I like to watch, and it's totally a guilty pleasure, but I enjoy it. And so I never really got onto the book subscription box bandwagon yet. After seeing the January I'll Create subscription box, which I couldn't get because it was sold out, I really liked it. It looked great, and I just kind of wanted to give it a try and see how I liked it going forward. So I got the February one, and that was where I got the Gilded Ones, which Mom loved, and I can't wait to read that one. And now today my March box just came in, so I figured it came in during the readathon. I might as well open it because it's perfectly bookish. Here's my March I'll Create box. Ooh, let's see. Of Witches and Wonder. Cute little picture. And then each month you get a little pin, which you know we are pin collectors in this house. So that's the pin. It says Magic Has Consequences. And it looks like it's just a cute little cauldron with stuff coming out of it and little bubbles and stuff here. All the items in this box are usually themed off of some book. Emmanuel Blackberry, Sage, and Cypress. This is perfume oil. Fiction Bath and Company,
An Alcrate exclusive Emmanuel. What's Emmanuel? Oh, The Year of the Witching. Of course, Emmanuel. That's actually a book I have read that I loved. I'm really excited to see what this smells like. Ooh, it smells kind of smoky. Interesting. I don't know if I want to wear that, but maybe. I'll have to try it out. But that does actually, the smell definitely makes me think of The Year of the Witching. What is this? Oh, it's like it's a bookmark holder, but that's really pretty. And that's nice for traveling or putting in my purse. Oh, it's from Discovery of Witches, which is a book I actually own, but I haven't had a chance to read yet. Like a ring trinket holder. I like these. There's a little witch in all of us. That's cute. It's a little star. Hey, for my last name. Rings, earrings, trinket. A star. I love it. So actually, this is a tea bag rest for the book Practical Magic, which I did love. I actually really enjoyed Practical Magic. And then this looks like a mug. Oh, it's like a wine mug for when you go out next to the fire pit or camping. Cheers for spring, for life, and for a growing soul. Oh, that's nice. I love these. These are great. We chose this lovely springtime quote from Sylvia Plath to kick off the series. Cool. Oh, this is like a reading challenge. So you try to pick, for Owl Crate, pick a different book for each one. I wonder if it's like a month reading challenge or something like that. That's kind of fun. I always like doing little reading challenges like that. What's next? It looks like a notebook. The Magician. This is pretty. Can always use notebooks. Never get tired of those. Oh, that's really pretty. It's great. And finally, Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrian Tooley. I know nothing about this. Oh, but look, it's got purple edges. From Alcrate, they're always signed, and then they've got a letter from the author, which I really enjoy. Okay, so it sounds like this is a sapphic YA fantasy. It's basically two witches, one who has had some issues and she can no longer love. She's either been cursed or something along those lines, and she can't feel love, she can't have love. So she tries to steal love from others. And then the other one is trying to save her father. So she kind of offers to give love to the first witch if she'll help her save her father. That's very basically what I read. Sounds interesting. It sounds a lot of fun. And I really do love books about witches. I like witches for some reason. I don't know. They're interesting. I find I'm more into witches than some of the other paranormal characters. I'm really excited about this one, and I actually really like the things that I got in the box because a lot of them are very usable and I will use them. Okay, so I tried my You're the Witching Emmanuel perfume, and coming from the little roll-on thing, it smells really sage. It's got sage in there, so it smells really sagey and very woodsy. And not that I don't like that, I just don't know if I'm crazy about that kind of smell for perfume. But I tried it on me, and my skin chemistry changed it completely. It smells very floral, which actually is more of a smell that I enjoy. It's a good thing I tried it out before just poo-pooing it. Tell us the good news.
Finished the book. It was a happy ending, just like I expected. There's actually 3 books in the series, and after reading this, I realized this was the first book, and I've already read the other 2 books, so I have to read the other 2 books in sequence. What a pain. But I got this read. It took me, what did I decide? 6.5 hours?
6.5 hours, but you
I
did take a nap.
slept. We did some breaks. We ate. You know, it was hard to stick to hours and hours of reading like we did last night. Last night was really easy.
Yeah.
During the daytime, it doesn't seem as easy to sit there and just read and do nothing else.
Yeah, I got a little more antsy today.
Yeah.
I did not finish my book. I made it to page 184, and I think there's like 303 pages or 304 pages, so came close, but no cigar. But I figure if the next book I pick is a short book, then maybe after I finish that one, you know, like shorter than this one, then maybe after I finish that one, I can work on this and finish it. If not, then I'll just finish this next week. It's a very quick read because it's YA. It's really cute. It's really cute. It's just a cute YA contemporary romance is what it is. And it's giving me lovely feelings about Cuban food and British food. I am ready for the next roll drop. I'm excited. Here I am, still hoping that I can fit in some of the books from my TBR. But we'll see how that goes.
Bookoplathon board roll number 3 is an 8. And that is the first book in a series.
First book in a series.
2021 board roll number 3 is a 9. And that is a chance card.
Uh-oh.
And my chance card is Confess by Colleen Hoover.
If you have your TBR and you have a set amount of books that you'd like to read, you have to pick the same amount of books for the books that you want to read and the books that you maybe don't want to read as much. You number them, you give them each a number, and then you can use a random number generator to pick which book you end up having to read.
Okay, so don't mind the dog here on the carpet. I have vacuumed this carpet already twice today, so it's just our dog. Okay, so these are all the first in a series, and I've put them in order of the ones I do want to read versus the ones I'm not as interested in reading right now. And I'm going to number them off and then do a random number generator. What do you think, Cease? You like that? Okay, The Birch Bark House is the first in this series by Louise Erdrich, and I do want to read that because look how short it is, and it's a middle grade. That would be perfect for this. The second would be the first book in the Vampire Files, Bloodlust, and I don't think that'd be too long, so that's probably an okay option. But I don't have any real interest in reading that right now. And then the next one is Headhunter. This one's actually really long, and I would say that I'm not excited to read this one, but this is on my TBR for March, and I need to get to it, so if I could make a good dent in this, it would be really perfect. And then The Lightning Thief is the first by Rick Riordan in this series, and I've never read this series, and it's just a long one, so I'm like, not crazy about the idea of starting that one, but I'll do it. And then there's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and it's nice and short, so I'd like to read that one. Followed by Magic to the Bone by Devin Monk. I don't know anything about this series. I think Mom probably picked it up at some point, but it's the first in the series. And then I've got Anne of Green Gables by Ella Montgomery, which I've never read. Nice, short, middle grade book. Gosh, look at all that hair on my carpet. Cece. I promise you I vacuumed twice today. Okay, so this would be a nice, easy one to get through. It's pretty and ugly. I got it like for $1, but it's a pretty ugly version. And then finally, the first in the Jim Butcher Dresden Files, Stormfront, which isn't too bad, but it's also another one which probably will take me a little longer, so I'm not super keen to read it right now. But I figured 4 and 4. So we're going to be doing 1 through 8, and whichever one comes up will be the one that I'm reading. So starting 1 over here, and 8 is the Dresden Files. Wouldn't you know it, the one book that is actually on my TBR and is going to give me nightmares is going to be the one I'm going to be starting with. I'm going to be reading Headhunter by Michael Slade. Okay, so Headhunter is the first in the Special X series, and it was the book that my friend Bryson chose for me to read because it's such a scary, horrifying horror book, is what I've been told. This is going to ruin me. So luckily, I haven't completely finished my other book, my nice, sweet YA contemporary book, which is completely the opposite of what this is going to be. When I need a break from this and all the blood and gore and horrifying details, I can move back over to that other book that I didn't get to finish during the last round. So we're gonna be reading this into the night, which I was planning on reading this during the day, not during the night. I can't believe this is the one that got picked. I'm glad it's helping me get through my TBR. I'm really glad. Okay.
I'm reading the first in the series, one I want to read. Don't want to do the random generator. I'll let Amy do that.
And what's the problem with this book, though?
Well, it's 525 pages. That means I'm going to be reading until...
The next roll drop tomorrow morning.
I hope not.
Well, isn't that ominous? The first thing is a quote from Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. The mind of man is capable of anything because everything is in it. All the past as well as all the future.
So Gavin has this slumber party going on during these sprints, and it's really cute. So he said that the end of this particular sprint, we're all going to put face masks on and get a drink, and totally down for that. Okay, so the face mask I chose is this jade sheet mask for Balanced Mind because I figured I'm reading a horror story, so it would probably be good to balance my mind and smooth my skin. Which one are you doing, Mama?
Citrine sheet mask. It's Happy Mind and Nourish Skin.
Oh.
Happy Mind.
Yes, to go with your crazy rich Asians. Mom forgot where her eyeballs were. She had it on sideways. Well, that's like Silence of the Lambs sort of thing. Very Hannibal Lecter. So,
This is how you stay beautiful.
I don't feel beautiful.
What are you talking about? I know guys dig that. Oh my gosh, that's Gavin's face mask.
Isn't that great? And then she's just got one under.
That's Cruella DeVille.
Cruella DeVille.
Okay, it's 8 p.m. It's been 2.5 hours since we picked our last books, and I'm only 40 pages into Headhunter, and that's because, well, for one, it's a very different writing style. Like, it's really hard to get into because there's so many shifts in perspective and then even shifts in tense. So you're like hopping from one crime scene to another police report, and then all of a sudden you'll hop to some completely different perspective, which I don't even know how it plays in. So there's like a whole bunch of different perspectives from a whole bunch of different people, but it looks like we're following an officer named Rodale, and they're starting to find out about these headhunters. So that, anyways, I've already went off on, and we've been having a little bit of goodies. Cheers. And I made dinner. I say made dinner loosely because I cheated.
Pizza.
Yeah, I cheated.
Pizza.
And we did our little face mask.
Oh, my skin feels so good.
Yeah, and it's just been kind of distracted, so I haven't
been
gotten
tough.
that far. Yeah,
I was reading like 50 page an hour, and now it's like
I think we're hitting our
2.5 hours. I've only read 105 pages.
Yeah. Gavin and Lexi are really funny, so
we're watching them more
fun
than
watching.
we should read.
Yeah, watching them too much.
Well, I have to say that this Crazy Rich Asians follows the movie really closely, and I love the movie. It was hilarious. It made me laugh.
I think you mean the movie follows that very closely.
What was first, the movie or the book?
The book.
So it's very close. I'm at the point where Nick has decided to bring his American Asian girlfriend to Singapore to meet the family. He's never told them a thing about him. He's never even told his family he has a girlfriend. So there's a lot of little shit going on here. But what was interesting is on the front of the book, it says a Pride and Prejudice like send up. And I thought, I never, watched the movie. I'm reading this. I mean, I guess it's kind of a remix of
like
Pride and Prejudice, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't figured that because in there, the rich boy was snooty to the not rich girl. Yeah. Here, he loves the not rich girl, and she doesn't know he's rich. Maybe it goes the opposite. Maybe she comes snooty about this rich boy.
You watched the movie.
I don't know. We'll see. I can't remember, and I've been drinking. Yeah. What do you expect?
So she won't remember this book either, which is good that we bought it, because then she'll be able to read it over and over and over again and enjoy it.
Oh, brand new every time. Never read this book. Never watched the movie.
So yeah, it's going well, and we're feeling no pain, which is probably not very helpful since we're trying to stay awake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get through these
Hopefully
books.
This will be just so scary. It's not... there's a little bit of blood and gore so far, but nothing...
Police reports?
Well, yeah, because they're finding dead bodies and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of detail, but not even that much. There hasn't been a ton of gore at this point, but there may be potential for it. And so I'm not finding it scary at the moment.
So your heart isn't racing, and
I haven't read very many books that actually feel that scary. I've read books that make me uncomfortable, but I feel like when it comes to horror, if you're looking for something that'll make you jump or, makes you really frightened, you have to watch a movie, because then they use the jump scares and stuff like that. But in books, they're looking to disgust you or make you really feel really uncomfortable. I've noticed that's a big difference between horror books and horror movies. Horror books have to use a different tactic. They can't jump up at you because it's on a book. So they have to...
But they can describe it in such a way that your mind just goes, I can't deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what books do. But I don't know, for some reason
So
that
Bryson said this was frightening? Has he read it?
Yeah, he's read it and he's rereading it right now. So he says he's been using it as his nighttime reading. And I'm like...
Yeah.
Bryson. It's not as bad as I've been afraid it would be, but I'm really only 40 pages in, so it's hard to say.
Can't wait to see what she's halfway through, if she's going to be having nightmares.
Crazed out of my mind.
Nightmares.
Well, and it's funny because when I read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, it wasn't scary when I read it, but it gave me nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
it's unsettling things, but even then it hasn't got to the point where it feels very unsettling. But I can see potential for it.
Well, if it's anything like, I used to watch CSI and all those ones where they just go into detail about all the gory, bloody, icky things that people do to each other, I'd sometimes watch and get sick to my stomach and think, why am I watching this? So I wonder if you'll get the same kind of feeling.
I feel like that's the kind of gore that they're talking about in this book. It's going to be the kind of really detailed CSI kind of gore.
Whoopee.
Yeah. Okay, so we are at 10 o'clock, and how are you doing, Mama?
Well, besides being a little buzzed and red-faced and burning up from the booze, and I ate some ice cream to try to cool me down. It's not working. Maybe I have to go out in the rain. But I'm on page 215, so I'm not going to probably finish it because I don't think I'm going to read until 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm getting there. I think I have to read to 265 to be halfway through the book.
Are you enjoying it, though?
Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's easy to read. Reminds me of the movie.
I am not doing quite as well as you are. I only read about 30 pages in the last 2 hours, and I don't know how the heck that happened because I've been sitting there reading, and I don't know why my reading hasn't gotten very far. I feel like things are starting to come together a little bit, but then they keep adding these new storylines in, so it's like there's like a tapestry being woven. And it's not like it's hard to read, although it's not as engaging as I would like it to be, maybe. And so maybe that's why I'm struggling. Also, maybe I'm struggling because of my scotch. And then I had ice cream, and I think that's making me feel kind of sleepy, actually, the sugar. So I don't know how long I'm going to last this evening. And I'm kind of like, how the heck did I only read 30 pages in the last 2 hours? That doesn't seem to make sense.
Maybe you did something else or you slept and didn't realize it.
Yeah, I passed out, and I had no idea. Anyways, I'm going to keep reading until I get too tired, but I don't think I'm going to last as long tonight as I did last night. How about you?
Yeah, I think that, reading nonstop sometimes is too much.
And that could be it, is that my brain is just...
Turned off?
It's just at a point where it's like, no, I'm
Yeah,
done.
we'll see.
How you feeling?
It's 2:30. It's 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I finished my book.
Yes. Yeah, it's 2:30. We didn't do any other updates because we were busy reading. I actually switched back to A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow because I was falling asleep reading Headhunter. And it's just such a complicated book that I felt like it wasn't a very good book for a readathon. And I'm on page 84, I think, in that, and it took me like 4 hours, 4.5, 5 hours to get to that many. No, it was longer than that. It was longer than that. Took me a long time. Maybe it was 8 hours. I really enjoyed it. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to rate it. I'll worry about that later when I can think a little better. But what I did enjoy about this, it was very cute. And like I said, it was very formulaic. I thought that the way they dealt with emotions was so mature in this that I was like, man, my friends and I and any guys we ever dated, relationships and stuff were never ever like that, which I'm guessing maybe this is more healthy than maybe what kind of emotions and how we dealt with issues were. Maybe even still. I was like, wow, this is such a healthy way of having relationships or dealing with relationships and stuff. So it was really good, and I liked a lot about it. Brought a lot of tears to my eyes, but I think I'm kind of weepy right now. So
Weepy or sleepy?
Like, I feel like everything I've been reading has been like,
I have to give Crazy Rich Asians 3.75. I liked it. It followed the movie, which I really, really enjoyed. The movie was hilarious. This had a lot of comedy and it was hilarious, but the ending was very disappointing. It wasn't the ending in the movie. It wasn't even an ending. It just kind of went bleh. And that dropped my rating down because I would have been a 4, maybe a 4.25 until it didn't end. I tried looking up this next book in the series. I'm not sure that it's continuing on from here. I mean, I guess you're supposed to suppose the ending. Happy Ever After, I think you're supposed to suppose, but it just didn't give you that. So I like things spelled out.
She does. She
I
likes
don't
to
like
be
to imagine.
very, what's the word for it? I don't know. I
Very, very
can't
quite
think of
quick
words
cherry.
right
We're
now.
too tired.
No. What? No.
We got a
Like,
nursery rhyme.
very straightforward.
or blatant. Blatant. You like things to be blatantly spelled out for you. It's true.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't.
You don't want to use your imagination.
No. Why would I
pretty
want to do
sad,
that
actually.
at 3 in the morning? Come
All
on.
little kids want to use their imaginations.
I'm 68.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no little
totally
kid
a little
left.
kid. What are you talking about? You excited about Roll Drop this morning?
Yes.
You're full of it. I'm not excited.
Your final roll for the 2021 board is a 9. And that is other, so that is any genre outside of the ones that you typically read.
Oh, this might be good.
And the Bookoplathon board, roll number 4, is 11. And that is a book set in the present.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, it's your friend Editing Amy here, and poor exhausted Amy was struggling hard. And she didn't explain hardly anything well at all. And I went back all over the clips. And then, of course, Mom made some extreme changes. She was going to pick hood feminism, but then she decided to change because nonfiction is a lot more challenging, especially to read for a readathon when you only have so many brain cells left because we weren't getting enough sleep. So for the prompts, other, meaning a genre she doesn't read often, and a book set in the present, Mom decided to go with the book that I had already read, A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. This isn't a prominent genre she reads, and it is a book set in the present. So this was Mom's choice. And then I ended up picking a semi-definitive list of worst nightmares by Crystal Sutherland, the group book for Spring into Reading-a-thon, which I had planned on reading for that, and of course that week didn't happen. And the reason I used that book is because I think that based on the last year and a half, I've been reading mostly nonfiction and YA fantasies. So I figured this was a YA contemporary, and that worked out for a book in the present and another genre that's not my most read genre.
This is what our pets do all the time. Yeah, this is why the carpet gets so hairy, because of this. What's going on, Mom? What's going on? What are you doing?
I want to travel. I'm tired of COVID.
You're what? Like 6 pages in and you're already crying.
I'm page 4 and I want to be in England.
Look over and Mom's like, I'm like, that wasn't a sad book.
I'm on page 62 and it's an easy, fun read, and still missing England.
My read must be easier than yours.
Well, why? What page are you on?
43.
So what does that mean?
Usually you're like double what I'm at.
No.
Yeah. That book took me longer than I thought it was going to too, though. So maybe it's just that book, like the writing style or something. Like this writing style is so quick and easy.
What book are you reading again?
The semi-definitive list.
Oh
of
yeah, it was
worst.
good.
So how is your reading going?
Well, I thought it was going good. I thought it was going fast, but it's fun. It's a fun book.
It's been 2
Teenage
hours.
angst. I love it.
And we're hoping for some poke. Yeah, I'm really liking this in my definitive list of worst nightmares. It's very, very quirky, really quirky characters.
Yeah,
which
it is.
I'm enjoying that. I like the quirky characters. And it's an interesting story. It's super quirky. But I'm having fun with it so far.
Yeah, I don't think I've read anything like that before. It was very fun.
Yeah. We're getting poke delivered.
Yeah, I'm hungry, and we still have half an hour to go.
I know, I'm hungry too. And I was gonna make something and I thought, no, I'm not going to. All right, we are halfway through our last 5 hours. And that means we have 2.5 hours left. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I'm only halfway through my book. Am I going to make it?
I'm 118 in. So faster than some of the other books. Oh, 112. I lied. Faster than some of the other books I've been reading, but I don't think I'll be able to finish this before the time's up. But I'll probably be pretty darn close. If I continue going at the pace I'm at, then I'll probably be close to like somewhere around there.
Easy read, huh?
It's a very easy read. It's about this young girl named Esther who comes from a family that's been cursed. Once they realize their greatest fear, they live out the rest of their life afraid of that fear because they think that fear is going to kill them. Her father is agoraphobic and doesn't ever leave the basement. Her brother is afraid of the dark and literally doesn't go anywhere at night unless he has tons of flashlights on him or is around a bonfire or something. And then the house is always lit
all the time with candles and things everywhere. And Esther has severe social anxiety, and so one of the things she's kind of combated that with is she wears costumes everywhere she goes. And she ends up befriending this guy named Jonah Smallwood, who actually pickpockets her. And he decides to help her face her fears in the hopes that they can lure in death.
Something she's been writing down on a sheet of paper for a long time. So all of her fears
the
are
list.
numbered.
Yeah, the list of fears. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's such a weird, quirky book. The characters are really endearing, so I'm having a fun. It's easy to read. Like, it's a really easy read, and it's a fun read. What about you?
So I'm on page 148, and so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish it. It's the same thing. I really like the characters. It's written in England. The whole time I'm reading it, I just want to go back to England. I want to go back. I've got friends living in...
They live in Glastonbury.
You know, you had read a book about travel, and I read it too, and it was really good, but it didn't make me want to travel as much as this one does. This one makes me, like, totally feeling locked in here and can't travel. So it's a good reminder that we have that available eventually. I've had my shots, and eventually life may return to some kind of
semblance of normalcy.
Normal? Who knows what it's going to be like.
So it just happened.
We finished 48 hours. We're alive. Woo-hoo! We're well. We've read a lot.
Yes, we've read a lot. I only technically finished 2 books. I'm a little over halfway through on this one, the semi-definitive list of worst nightmares, and I'm 84 pages into The Headhunter. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound too impressive, but let me calculate the number of pages I read. And I read / listened to 800 pages.
Woot, woot, woot!
For me, that's a lot. In 48 hours, heck yeah. Woo!
Woot, woot!
How'd it go for you?
So, I'm a fast reader. I got mostly
You
books
don't have
that
to
were
keep
really...
bragging about that.
I'm a reader, and I had books that were very fun and easy for me to read. So I read 1,489 pages.
Nice. Woo!
Didn't finish my last book, but I'm going to finish it before tonight's over. It's a good book, and I just want to get it done.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to finish mine tonight because I still have quite a bit left, and I got to work on videos and stuff. But this was so much fun. I don't know that we'll be doing anything like this anytime soon. It was a lot. It was a lot, and it's not very often that we have like a full weekend like this where we can just sequester ourselves away and
well, my
read.
cell phone is broken, and Amy made a listing on Facebook telling all our friends and family, don't contact us this weekend. Don't contact us unless it's
only emergency.
an emergency.
It was really fun though, and I enjoyed doing this with you.
I had fun doing it with you too.
Was it painful? Because she doesn't usually do the readathons with me, so just...
Well, I get tired of reading sometimes, and one of my other favorite things to do is to do online puzzles, and I didn't get to
She's
do
going
any
through
for
puzzle
48
withdrawals.
hours. And then I watch a lot of Asian, what do you call them?
Asian dramas.
Didn't get to do that, so I'm like, but no, actually it was really fun.
We made it sort of special. Like we made it its own event. And I was really happy that Becca hosted this and did the whole 48 hours of live shows. Because even though we didn't necessarily listen to all the commentary and whatnot,
We felt like they were in the room with us. We had the TV on the entire time with them. Now they're drinking like crazy.
they're totally
taking
doing shots and getting drunk, and we're like, it's still pretty early here. We got things to
It's too
do.
early to start getting...
I hope you enjoyed this as well. If you liked it, click the like button and subscribe right now so you can go on more crazy adventures like this with us.
Adventures.
Yeah, it was an adventure. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.
Bye.